with Reggie then. Aside from leaving you hanging there, I think when you lose a guy like Tyrone Tracy, you're looking for somebody else who can kind of help Mock with the workload, and then you get a guy that he's been doing this for a while now. So how seamlessly maybe is it that he comes in here and can help you out?
I mean, end of the day, you got another starting Big Ten running back, right? He's different than Tyrone, but the attributes that he does have, he fills a role. He's kind of a combination of Dylan, who's no longer here,
right,
and Tyrone. Reggie catches the ball much more naturally than I expected. He has a lot of the same leadership qualities as Tyrone. He's got the energy and the juice, and then he's just done the job. Last year we were training Tyrone to find out if he could, which obviously he's a tremendous athlete. He figured it out.
Right.
Reggie's proven. And I think from my standpoint, it's just giving him the love and support that he needs to be the best version of himself, right? And him coming in and just having an open mind, like we already got one of the Big Ten's best running backs in Devin Mockabee. Is he cool with me being a part of that? Like, absolutely. This is who we are. It's going to take more than one. And last year set the tone. So for Reg, he saw an opportunity to get coached and to try to elevate himself and to challenge himself. It was pretty seamless, man. Like he's happy, and I think there's something to be said about that. And there's a degree of comfortability because of his relationship with Coach Patterson as well. So.
You guys got a lot of production out of the running back room last year. I mean, how big of a factor was that as you're talking to guys, trying to get somebody else, in the room to replace some guys?
Well, I mean, ultimately, we're an air raid offense or a form of it. But the good air raid offenses run the ball. We have to complement each other. And I think we've said that from day one. And the proof's in the pudding. So it's not hard. And then ultimately, I think the good players want to be coached. They want to get the absolute maximum out of their talent. And that was my conversation with Reg. Like, how much more do you have to give? Right? I'm a teacher, and I enjoy teaching. And I think that I can help you become the best version of yourself. But you've got to be open to it. Same conversation I had with Tyrone. So it was pretty seamless, man. And obviously there's opportunity. I mean, I think that's always part of it. You know what I'm saying? They want the ball. But with Reg, he just gets the bigger picture. Great running backs block. He's a tremendous blocker. Great running backs have to do some the dirty work that you don't get credit for. And I think that he brings some of those things to the table. 3rd and 3 with Reggie, he thrives in those situations. He's done it already. He's proven in the Big Ten. So he brings some things to the table that really will help us and bolster us as a whole.
You had what you call a 3-headed monster last year at times when everybody was healthy. I know you're not building a depth chart right now, but do you see a guy emerging maybe as a third back?
I've got 3 young ones. Obviously, Jaheim is here. Mm-hmm. Tremendous talent, but he should be in high school right now.
Right.
So he's, it's day to day. He flashes now. Oh boy, he flashes. He is a gifted young man. He's just learning how to work and do the things the way we want him to do them on a day-to-day basis, and he'll get there. I have no doubt in my mind. Another one that surprised us is Elijah Jackson. He won the state in the 100 meters in high school in Indiana in 2023. He got here, he was 160-something pounds. He's 190 plus now. He has worked his tail off, and he looks fantastic. And I think if he just stays the course and keeps buying in, he's going to have a chance. And then obviously Christian Womack, he's battling a little bit of a hamstring right now, but his first couple of days he was on point. We got 2 guys with some 10 600 meter, 10 400 meter. Then Jaheim is young, but he's big and he's athletic, and they're doing what they're supposed to do. And if they just keep buying in, I got no worries. Ultimately, it's up to them how bad they want it, but they're doing a great job. I'm half smiling here. I can't give y'all all the information, but I'm very confident that we'll be just fine.
Well, what's next for Devin Mock again? As far as development goes, and what you want to see from him this year?
The first thing is continue to understand how hard you have to work to take that next step, right? Don't be satisfied with the status quo. We all know he can run the ball. He's special with the ball in his hands. Like, let's be real. He does stuff that it's not me. That's God-given talent. He has to continue to buy into changing his body, Devin Mockabee playing at 205, 210 pounds would be scary for everybody, right? Because the added strength, the confidence that comes with that, and then you add in the next piece is just leadership. Get outside of yourself and demand more of yourself, demand more of your teammates, and step out on that white line, man, and be the leader of the crew, and everybody will follow. Me and him have some similarities because we're both walk-ons, and that's an important part of our journey. But brother, you're not a walk-on anymore. You're an all Big Ten player. Act like it. You know what I mean? Lead from the front, not from the back. So that's the next step, right? Just be a little bit more gritty, but be more out front, right? Take those shots to the chest and just keep on coming. But that starts in the weight room. That starts with nutrition, and he's working it. There's no doubt in my mind. He's working it, and he looks fantastic.
How are you guys able to determine the right playing weight for these guys? And when you're adding weight, I mean, just at some point there's loss of agility. So how are you able to strike that balance?
In truth, man, it's just turn on the tape, right? If there's certain things that I think he needs or a back needs in terms of being able to finish a run out of a run, whether it's weight or just strength, right? Balance the two. You may not need to get bigger, you need to get stronger. If weight comes with that strength, great, right? If you don't change your body weight but you get stronger, we're good, right? So it's a balancing act there, right? But you're talking about Big Ten football. You gotta grind, man. And so if you come in too light, you don't have enough strength, you get to week 8, 9, 10, it's going to show. Your body's going to get beat up, right? I'd rather you just go all in, change your body, grow your body, and over the course of 4 or 5 years, you'll figure out what the right playing weight is, right? But then you also have to look at offensively what we're doing. Are we asking you to just run inside zone and some gap schemes downhill over and over and over and over and over again? Well, we've got to change some things. So for a large part, some of it's us, some of it's them, and we just find a happy medium.
Just for you personally and for the program, what does it mean to see Tyrone Tracy have such a good combine, going to be selected in the NFL?
So I won't get ahead of myself here. The first thing that I want to say is kudos to Coach Walters. When he got here, he saw the same thing I saw, right? Hey, man, we've got to find a way to use this kid's talent. And we kind of came to an agreement, like, let's put him in the backfield. And then obviously you've got to give your flowers to Tyrone. He bought into it. You've been in college for 5 years. You have success as a wide receiver. There's some frustration there. But do I think I can get this done? Do I trust the people to do it? So when you're an athlete at that point, like, usually you say no. I don't have enough time. So I give him credit. He put in the work. He put in, he grinded. One of our mantras here is we work. And he's a great example of that, right? Just get to work, blue collar work, shut your mouth, take the coaching, and just get after it. And he did that. And to me, that's a Purdue guy. And so it's just awesome, man. It leaves me speechless. I went and watched him at the combine. I watched him out here, and to see all of it happening for him, and to see the joy on his family's face, it's just incredible. But that's his work, right? He bought into what we were selling and what we were coaching, from Coach Walters to our strength staff, Coach Rowe, to our offensive staff. It's not just me, but Tyrone did the work, man. He's always had the talent. But in our profession, I'm a big believer that relationships matter. And if you can get a kid to believe in himself above and beyond, and believe in his teacher, believe in his coaching, and be willing to sacrifice, and it goes both ways. I have to be willing to do the same thing for him, and it all comes together, man. That's just an awesome thing to see. It's going to be great for the program, because ultimately it puts some backbone into what we believe in and what we're teaching and the systems that we have here. So I couldn't be prouder, man. I've known him since he was 16, 17 years old. I couldn't be prouder just to be a part of his journey. So.
Back when you played, I think there was a lot of guys that came in here that were under-recruited that turned into NFL stars. So I guess when you get a guy that can do that, does that trickle down and, hopefully become a staple of the program? Is like, hey, we can turn you into what you want to be. You just have to be
Well, absolutely, man, because from a recruiting standpoint, you can show them from the start to the finish. We have proof of what we do here works, right? We're going to shoot for the moon and get the best quality players we can, whether it's out of high school or the transfer portal. But when you can show a kid how we got you better, whether it was 9 months with Tyrone, over the course of 2, 3, 4 years with a kid that comes out of high school, that speaks something about your program, right? It's not just, hey, we say we're a developmental program. The proof's in the pudding. Can you really do it, right? A great example is Ryan Kerrigan. We were talking about him today, and I was here as a GA when he got here. He wasn't highly recruited, but if you watch the film and you watched him in camps, he practiced so hard. He was so strong, but he was a little underdeveloped. Well, when he got here, he took the coaching, right? He leaned into the weight room. And, the sky was the limit for the young man. But you've got to be able to see those things and identify them, and implement them. And when you have that foundation, it makes things a lot easier.